Look.
Oh God. Oh my God. Good morning. Just cleaning the old rig. I suggest you keep your rig clean too. Chris didn't bring his beautiful white one. It must be dirty. I have a dirty dipper, and the reason why it's dirty is because Ricky Williams was the last person to dip out of it, and I'll never wash it again. You can use it, though.
Your dirty dipper.
My dirty dipper. It's a dirty dipper now, and I have an excuse. When Ricky Williams smokes on your rig, you never wash it, trust me. Leave it. That's a football legend, man. Seriously. He just popped in out of nowhere, too. We're just hanging out, all excited that the Governor McGreevy was there. We're like, oh, Governor McGreevy, woo, woo. And all of a sudden, Ricky Williams walks in. We're like, duh. I don't think a bigger cannabis celebrity could have walked in at that point. I mean, really.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I was just talking about Matt Barnes, and I just saw Dr. Uma with Matt Barnes.
Nice.
At the kind of West Coast thing. And yeah, it's just like, like I told Ricky, he paved the way for some of these athletes to speak up.
Where's my chat here? Here it is. We're just getting started. PPP, everybody. I still have to share this. And good morning, Seth. What's up, my man? PPP.
Good morning, guys.
PPP. PPP. Smoke him if you got him. Oh, there you go. If you want to use the rig, it's right here. I just cleaned the glass piece. I should probably clean the inside. You ever get vapor up your nose? Makes you want to sneeze, right? I'm like halfway there of a sneeze. Oh, and we're gonna wake and bake to some war stories. We got good war stories for you. Yay! All you patients out there with your sick, dark humor.
Yeah. We want to hear your war stories, too.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got for us? Show me your scars. I'll show you mine.
Yeah, call in. Maybe we can have a all conversation and have, somebody interact and, can experience, each other's pain.
Ouch. Yeah, you gave me the chills this morning. You said something, gave me the chills about something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, my fractured patella, broken patella, yeah.
Oh, all right. We'll talk about your patella. Welcome to the show. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's the Ignorance is No Excuse podcast, starting in 2 minutes.
Bring in the boss one. I'm gonna get mine. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you all to get mean, I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all on top. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Seth got flour. Smooth flour. Seth got flour. Smooth flour. It's Thursday. Can I give you a mic? Can I give you a microphone? Can I give you a camera? Good morning. Wake and bake, everybody. What the hell am I got going on here? Yeah. I'm a mess right now.
A little bit.
I'm a mess right now. I'm a mess right now. We don't even have a... What a mess. What's going on, Chris, man? How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I love that you brought this.
Yeah.
I almost forgot.
It's been a while.
Look at this. How long did it take you to roll this thing?
I don't even know. I just got so focused on it.
Your first shot, you got it. You just yeah.
I got pretty good at it.
Yeah,
I got pretty good at it.
Man, that's so cool. All right, we're smoking a cross joint over here, a sativa cross joint that warms the cockles of my heart. Sativa cross joint. Sativa cross joint. Sativa cross joint. Do we have any sound effects? No, of course not. Why would we? Diane couldn't be here today. I hope she's okay. She had to go take care of some business. I think she was doing some rage yoga today, some mosh pit yoga stuff. How do you do yoga in a mosh pit?
Sounds like fun.
I kind of like that.
Relaxing.
If you can relax in a mosh pit, you can relax anywhere. It's really brilliant. It's really a good idea. It's like boot camp for your serenity. It's Serenity Boot Camp. You will become serene. Calm down.
I wonder if it works like that.
For some people, it might.
Probably get slapped up a little bit.
Smack you around. Oh, God, no. Come on a I&E tour with us. You'll get smacked around.
Yeah.
What would you call that? What kind of Assault yoga.
Assault yoga. Assault yoga.
Yeah, come do some assault yoga with us. You can sit in a wheelchair. They'll still attack you. I was attacked in a wheelchair a couple times while I was sitting in the wheelchair. That's pretty crazy, right? So the awards behind Chris. I want to take this award to Cody's office. I think that's the move. He hasn't responded yet.
Yeah, I would show him where he signed. And what he said about your endeavors.
Yeah. I just want to make a video of going to his office and make him a copy of it. I'll make him a copy. Here's your copy in case you lost your original. And I want to thank him for the accolades. But help me to help you, and whatever.
Help each other.
Let's help each other.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. But no, I think he's gonna double down. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So yeah, we're flossing a little bit today, I guess. Hey, nobody else is gonna floss. I get so many haters. It's nice to have something nice to put up for a change instead of anything bad. Oh wow, you can see my coffee. Why is there a? Oh, it's the light hitting it. Okay. Oh wow, look at that. You can see through my coffee. My coffee. I can see through it. So we do have a couple of stories today. And they're not war stories. We'll get to your war stories. Oh, you gave me the chills before. What were you talking about? You gave me the chills when you were saying something about...
No, I showed you the picture of my knee.
Oh,
My knee, yeah.
And they couldn't drill a hole in your knee.
No, because where the fracture was like the bottom of my patella. So like if they drilled a hole, then So what they explained to me was like they stitched it up, I guess. Like I don't know how that works, but yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my goodness. And what did you say to me before? You said you wish you had a picture of your gooch. Oh my god.
Yeah, because that's where they
Ow.
they reattached my urethra through there.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. I couldn't really walk. And if I did walk, like I would bleed or so I had to, be pretty much in bed rest for most of the time. And at the same time, I had to figure out how to pee normal again.
Right. You had to figure out relearn everything. And hopefully that I remember you came to a couple of events in the wheelchair. Up in Whippany, you came in the wheelchair and a couple times, and I know you were trying to get out of it. You were working on getting out of there, and I'm super proud of you for how far you've come. And you were actually at the lake working out, like rehabilitating at the lake.
Yeah,
So that lake has a lot of meaning.
Yeah, and I appreciate recognizing you especially because you saw me from like wheelchair with my my super pubic tube and like all that you seen pretty much me almost at my worst.
Yeah.
And and just like a short amount of time just come up that way, and I thank you for helping me make my voice heard. You and Jeff were pretty much who I looked up to when I was in the wheelchair, and gave me the strength to keep on speaking up. So
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
that played a big role. That played a very big role. And not only that, but like now I want to help. I want to help. There's not a lot of ways people can really help, and because most of it's probably most for me at least it was like internal battles. There was nothing anybody could do for me,
Right.
but myself and my mental, and just keep going.
Yeah.
So
Got to keep it moving, and you did.
Yeah,
you kept it moving.
And I just want people to know, man, like, whatever you're going through, there's somebody else that is going through worse or is in a worse position. And that's what I got out of all this, Yeah, I was down bad, and I pretty much had no hope. I pretty much was upset that they actually helped me out to survive and got me to survive, you know, like got me through it. I was upset at first, but like now I look back and I'm like, geez,
Yeah.
I really appreciate it because there's so much more, you know. Even if you are in a wheelchair, there's so much more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if you are left in a wheelchair or anything, like there's more. And yeah, I just want people to like take it in and just, you know, keep it going. Like, you know, you got this. Whatever it is, you got this, you know.
You took part when you were in your wheelchair. You did some activism.
Yeah.
Remember, we went to Boonton?
We went to Boonton, Chester.
Chester.
Whippany. There's a couple other ones that we went.
That pizza place in Boonton really was like...
Yeah.
We were going to order Domino's and hang out in front, remember? We should still do that.
Yeah, it was cool, you know, because, like, at the same time, I was like, in my wheelchair, I'm like, go ahead. Arrest me. Go do what you got to do. You just try me. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What are you going to do? You know? But
I always wonder how they're going to arrest someone in a wheelchair. What do you put your arms behind the chair and what do you do? You put the arms in the chair?
I don't know. But
Take them out of the chair? I mean, you have to take them out of the chair to put them in the cop
maybe
car.
they just manhandle your chair and just, you know.
Like in Brielle.
Because you're defenseless at that point, you know.
Yeah.
You really are defenseless when you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So.
Man. Well, let's see if the phones work. This will be a great test of the phone situation here. Let's see. Do we have phones? Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Hold on. You can't hear me, can you?
I can hear you.
Now you can hear me? Or hold on. Try it again. Hold on. All right. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Wait. Hold on. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Nope. Hold on. Hold on.
Hello. Are you having a podcast with Apple?
Okay, we're working now. Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yay.
I love these Verizon commercials we do every week. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I can hear you now.
It's my stupid phones that never
about now?
work.
We need to work on that. We need to get you new phones that work.
I know.
How are you?
Oh, we're just dandy, telling war stories. How are you doing? What are you doing? Rage yoga?
I did teach yoga this morning, and Wednesday just sent me my logo for my company. So I'm very excited. Yes, it's probably going to be, it's going to evolve, but I'm very excited. So thank you for introducing me to her. She's wonderful. And I wanted to just touch base with you guys, see how your day's going, see what topics you're going to discuss today.
You tell us. What should we talk about? We have the NBA not testing for the year. We have
That was huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Right?
Because you know what? If they come out and they just go, nope, not doing it. I saw a job posting and it actually startled me because in bold print, they had drug testing. And I was like, wow, like who does that nowadays? Like who does that? That's not a common thing anymore. To like announce, and I don't know, it's getting less and less, and I hope it continues because it's fair to the patients, or if they want to say, hey, we're going to drug test for heroin, I totally understand that, but cannabis, that's a little 1930s.
Oh, Jim Miller says, how do they arrest someone in a wheelchair? I know that one. And he does. He does know that one.
I love him. He made me cry last week. And then when I re-listened to the podcast, I cried again. He's got a story and a half, that man. He's lived the entire cycle of the fight. So I am actually running around doing chores today. Before I go to my eye doctor, you know what my eye issues are? I missed an appointment 2 years ago because of COVID. And now weirdly, when I wear contacts, I get like a weird haze. You ever had that? Maybe it's being around you guys in the pot room. all the time. Maybe that's the haze. Chris, you're very quiet today.
I'm smoking right now.
Oh, is
at
that,
the moment.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cross joint. He rolled a cross joint.
What's that?
You cross two joints.
Yeah.
And yeah. It's like I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, send me a picture. I'm so ignorant. I'm learning so much from the bad kids that I'm hanging out with now.
The bad kids. We're now the good kids.
No, you're like the bad kids that do good.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay,
That's the story of my life.
I'll take
yeah,
that.
you're like the bad kid that does good, but you're still a bad kid. So, oh yeah, I'm not as focused as I normally am because I'm running around.
Well, I have a question. When you're doing the yoga in a mosh pit and people are like moshing around you and banging into you, it really does take a lot of concentration to be serene at that point, doesn't it? It's kind of brilliant.
That's not what rage yoga is. Rage yoga just involves drinking in a bar. It involves loud music. So I'll have like Eminem playing. It involves loud music, and it involves just a lot of laughs, because a lot of times yoga is taken too seriously. And I'll tell you, one of the things that triggered me in teaching it is people are afraid to come to a yoga class because they're afraid they'll pass gas. And I'm like, you know what, guys? The music's so loud, no one's going to hear you. Like, have a go. No one's going to care. So it's just taking that like stiffness out of the practice. Yeah, and having fun with it.
Lefty will be the one that just let it rip freely.
I'm glad you told me.
Yes, exactly. But you don't come with the Rusty. I'm not going to invite, or Lefty. I'm not going to invite you because you're going to come with the attention.
It's a farting party. Yay!
You're going to eat beans beforehand and be like, "Oh, she told me I can."
Yay!
They told me this was a contest.
You two are uninvited. All my students are like, "Who the hell are those two in the back?"
As long as it's on Taco Tuesday, we're good.
Could you imagine if I combined the two? That'd be wonderful. That would be wonderful.
It would be.
You're gonna need some vents in that place.
You do. So I am going to run. I just wanted to check in with you guys. I wanted to, be a part of it today, and I'm sorry I can't be in. Are we calling it a studio?
Yes.
In the studio with you, or the pot den. I think pot den is more appropriate.
I like the pot den.
Yeah, I think pot den is way more appropriate than studio. Studio implies some kind of professionalism, which I don't think we have.
Have you seen my studio? Have you seen how much electronics is here? I have a green screen. I'm actually flossing my award on the green screen, which nobody does this.
So
I have graphics. I have Hugh's logo up there.
No, you do. You don't get more. I wasn't mocking it.
No,
I'm just saying
you don't get more professional than this.
Yeah, we're not very professional.
This
we're
is
not
top
as,
shelf. This is live without a net.
Not.
Without a net. That's why this is live. I like live because you screw up and people see it, and it's like so you don't screw up. So people don't see it.
I'm very mindful of live. I'm very mindful of crap. What did I just say?
I love it.
What did he back me into? What did I just admit into?
That's the whole point of it. Yeah, you got to be like on point. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
There's no safety net.
All right, gentlemen. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.
Well,
thank you.
What's the name of your doctor?
What's a...
That's a clip I'm saving right there.
That's great.
I'm saving that clip. What's the name of your doctor?
Well, oh man, that was great.
She was. What did she say? She was saying something. She was like, "Whoa." It was a W.
Mm-hmm. I thought you would say, "Well."
Whoa. Oh, that was great. That was great. Thank you, Diana. 1-0 today. One for Lefty. Callers 0. Now don't call in and hang up on me. That doesn't count. We have to have a conversation.
That's funny.
Oh, this sativa cross joint is wonderful.
Yeah.
With the coffee, oh, I'm in heaven here.
Oh, yeah, that's essential.
Wow.
And it's smoking good.
Okay, so the story we were talking about here, the NBA will not randomly test players for cannabis again this season. The NBA is continuing the policy that was put in place last year for the COVID-19 restart bubble and has remained since. Drug testing will continue for things such as human growth hormone and performance enhancers, along with what the league calls drugs of abuse, such as methamphetamine, cocaine, opiates, and any sort of boofing. That's what it says. The league's agreement with the National Basketball Association, Players Association, over random cannabis tests will continue for at least another season. They're going to focus on performance-enhancing products and boofing. They're against boofing, apparently, in the NBA. I'm not sure what that's about.
It's crazy because it's kind of like a temporary thing, you know? Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, at least you realized.
See, if you were here, you wouldn't have that problem. But since you're on the phone, oh well.
Fair game. I feel like she might get good at it and start getting us.
Yeah, like Tony. Tony would get me good. Tony's the only one who would actually get me. Other people would try, and I would just hang up on them.
But yeah, it seems like it's only for like a temporary thing where they're not going to be testing temporarily, but it should just be a permanent thing, you know?
It says the ban on cannabis is a significant and unnecessary burden on athletes' civil liberties.
Oh, wow.
Because more than half of the states in the U.S. have decriminalized possessing small amounts. So, yeah, they're coming around.
So who's left? The NBA? NFL?
The NFL. What about the NHL? What about rugby? USA Rugby, they need to smoke cannabis. They're terrible.
Soccer, MLS.
Boy, the USA Rugby team really lets me down every year. Terrible. They need to play in Hawaii. And they get a haka. Because if you're an island nation, you can have your own haka. And if we had a haka, I think we'd start winning. We don't have a haka. We need a haka, bro. We need a haka. Actually, we need the patients need a haka before we go out and protest. We need to do a protest, man. We need to protest a couple of these places in Bayonne.
Yep.
Okay, look at this thing. Nice. Oh. So, Seth, that was... Oh, he said... Oh, okay. Tennis. NHL. Good morning, Susan. Oh, and Olympic athletes are tested. Well, yeah. I don't understand Olympic athletes. Because Michael Phelps, wasn't he an Olympic athlete?
Yeah, but he did it off season.
Oh, really?
It was an off season thing, but then I guess he has to be clean for the Olympics.
I didn't know that. I thought he did it and got away with it for some reason.
I'm not too quite sure. I think it was like off season, and then like he got caught actually smoking the bong. I think that one year, and then yeah.
Okay, so Marina says NHL, tennis, and Olympics. And probably rugby. Okay, it was that one Canadian snowboarder who lost his medal because they called it a performance-enhancing drug. Oh. It's performance-enhancing you to the fridge. That's funny. So a Canadian snowboarder lost his medal over weed? Wow. It's pretty much legal in Canada, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's the Olympic Committee. That's a whole different entity.
Yeah.
It's a third party. So what about the country? If you're in a country where it's legal? No, I guess you can't. Performance enhancing. And I guess, it could be considered performance enhancing because cannabis does help you to recover. It helps your inflammation. It does help you. So I don't know if it helps your performance. It helps your recovery, that's for sure. If you're beat up, it doesn't, it's not like.
That's like every athlete's dream,
Yeah.
Recovery time.
Okay, this is when snowboarding was first introduced into the Olympics, and Canada was not legal then. Okay. That makes sense. Canada had medical for a while, though, I think. So the other story we have is the bare-knuckle boxing death. Some dude died. Yeah, some dude died, and I watched this stuff. And Justin Thornton died earlier this week after succumbing to injuries sustained in his knockout loss to Dylan Kleckler. He was in the hospital with paralysis. He's 38 years old. But then Dana White has to chime in. Dana White from the UFC, the most violent sport in America. And Dana White says, first of all, is anyone shocked? How does Dana talk? How does he talk? Does he talk normal? First of all, is anyone shocked? White asked reporters at the recent Contender Series press conference. I mean, bare knuckle fighting. I'm not a big fan. They're taking away my money. Oh, I guess I would call it concerned when some of our people, when they leave here and they go there. Oh my God. We've been putting on fights for 25 years. I've done 7,000 fights with no serious injuries in the UFC. I'm going to choke on my bong right now. No serious injuries? Have you seen the leg breaks that I've seen this year? Just this year alone, the breaks of the legs.
The shins.
The shin cracking and the guy stepping on his own foot. Ugh, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
God, that's not serious.
Not to mention, like,
Oh.
yeah, it's just not.
Oh. Or what about
And
the
the
dude?
elbows, to the forehead, to the temple,
Yeah.
the shin to head, the
No serious injuries, Dana. What are you talking about? Just shut up, Dana. Just shut up. Just do your fights.
Yeah, and there was a fighter like that I follow on Bellator, MVP. He fought like this Brazilian guy, and he's like supposed to be like he was top-notch guy. Well, he got a knee to the forehead. Oh. And his knee was imprinted on that guy's forehead. And they had gloves on, But it's just the way he fell, He fell on his head, straight head, and it's like a 205-pound guy falling head first, and like taking the whole, it's not good for your spine, for your neck, But
It can happen in the UFC. So, Dana, you shouldn't be saying this stuff because it can happen to the UFC. I'm surprised it hasn't happened something more serious than people stepping on their own leg or foot. Ugh. Ugh. Come on, Dana. Really? Just it makes it look bad because it's your competition. You're talking crap about your competition and saying how safe UFC is when it's not.
It's funny because he openly admitted he's like, yeah, all my fighters are going over there.
Yeah,
like,
come on, Dana.
But And that's the other thing, it could happen in boxing. There's a Puerto Rican boxer that, a couple years ago he had a fight and he got hit in the back of the head and is like lost mobility and a whole bunch of stuff.
That he's in a wheelchair, right?
Yeah,
Or was
is I think
is.
But yeah, it's part of the sport. These guys know what they get themselves into going in there. That they never know what's gonna happen. It happens. It happens in football. To the Rutgers guy. I believe his name is Eric. He's in a wheelchair now. So, but it happens. It just happens. It doesn't happen often, but like when it does happen, it's serious.
What is this?
Lefty.
This Seth, thank you. I didn't know that. The governor of California on Tuesday signed a bill to require hospitals to permit medical cannabis use by certain patients.
Nice.
Governor Gavin Newsom approved the legislation, signaling that his prior concerns about an earlier version that he reluctantly vetoed have since been resolved. Wow, terminally ill patients can use medical cannabis in hospitals. So how does that mean? Oh, and they're seeking clarification on whether the policy change could jeopardize federal funding.
Yep, I was just about to say.
Wow.
I mean, it's going to take a couple states to stand up and do this before the government's like, all right, guys.
Wow. The government is looking into the matter.
Good thing, it's why follow messed up laws, and just do the humane thing. And that's good, taking a stand on that.
Wow. Good job. All right, so are we going to call anyone today? Do we have anyone to call? We really don't have anyone to call. We had no plans today to do anything. We just wanted to get stoned and hang out. Pretty much what you're going to get. I don't even have a song ready. I can't even sing a song for you because I'm not even ready for that. I'm just going to smoke a joint right here and enjoy it. Or we could tell war stories. You and your war stories. Oh, God. I can't even... I'm like, look at my score. I got a big score. And then Chris is like, oh, no, I got this and I got that. I'm like, oh, dude. I don't know, man. I'll tell you. Amazing.
Yeah.
Come a long way, man.
Yeah. Just, I hope other people see it and, they see that anything is possible.
Yeah. I mean, with the pain that you're in and what you've gone through, anybody can go and anyone can do this. Anyone. Like, if you want to get off opiates, believe me, you can do it.
It's not, I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy and it's fucking flowers and daisies and nice pastures. And no, it's hard. And the main thing is, it's you versus yourself.
Yes, your own worst enemy.
And I've, it's just, it's just a lot of, I guess it's things that we don't really worry about because, we're so used to letting our physical bodies do everything for us and, but at the end of the day, the main machine is the brain.
Yeah, because when you're injured, you tend to get stressed or depressed or anxious. In my case, I get anxiety attacks or panic attacks, which I never had before, and I just started getting them in my 40s. I don't know why I get them. I tend not to get depressed or sad because I turn that into anger. I think depression is your anger turned inward, so I'd rather turn it outward. That's why I'm a jerk a lot of times, pretty much. But I try not to be. But it helps activism. I'm a better angry activist than a sad activist. But now I don't want to be angry. I'm trying to be like just assertive. An assertive activist rather than the angry activist.
Yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. It's
It's a tough balance.
It is. It is. You know, especially when I was growing up. You know, I was always built up with anger. Always. I was. That's why I did some of these sports that I did. You know, like football, wrestling, like. You know, like kind of take my anger out, like and like some of my coaches when I was growing up, like my midget leagues, they would be like, like yo, all that anger, frustration you had during the day, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can. This is your time. Let it out. Be free out there. And yeah, that's what I did. It's like a therapy. Even working out or whatever, it's like a therapy. It's like a way to release.
Try that out, the therapy. Yesterday I went for acupuncture and cupping, and I actually put needles in my ankles, way down in my ankles. Yeah, I was like, wow, I don't like those. But I feel better. I feel better than I would have had I not gone. They'd worked out my shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, it's just different ways, Do you smoke when you bless you, do you smoke when you go to these things?
Oh yeah, I dab out in the parking lot. They know me. I always have my pot shirts on. Always have a pot shirt. One of those or one of these, or don't shoot, I'm sexy with the pot leaf on the back. Hey Sarah Weber, how are you? Sarah Weber, I owe you a phone call. We haven't talked in a long time. Sarah's out in Kansas. Hope you're able to get your medicine out there. Talk about not being able to get medicine. There's places that are dead zones in the U.S. She's doing really well. That's good. That's good, because Sarah, I've seen the pictures, and man, what you've been through, man. She's talked to us before. She has the drop seizures, and the pictures that she has sent of her missing her teeth and just getting the one with the 10 staples in your head from getting man, God bless you. I mean, how are they not giving her cannabis for her drop seizures? Really? What more does she have to do? She's suffering out there in Kansas. And then she has the stress of when she does get it, she has to do it illegally. And yep. Come on. It's ridiculous. People in New Jersey take rides to Maine. That's what people in Jersey do for quality and cost. But you know what? Zen just had 3/8 for 30. For 3/8 for $100 at Zen Leaf.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. 3/8 for 100. I was like, ooh. That's not bad. $33 an eighth. It was decent. It was Sunny G. But Kansas sucks. I would just grow some weed out there, and you got a lot of cornfields and a lot of wheat and stuff. Just sprinkle a few plants here and there. Just sprinkle them here and there. Not a big gathering, not a big crop, just a few here and there. You know where they're at. Spell your name or something in it so you know how to find them. I don't know how the pot dealers do it. The growers do it. They mix in weed with their other crops a lot. I don't know how they know where it is at all times.
They probably have a section like rows and stuff like that, and
I get lost.
Yeah,
in a field.
Me too.
Put me in a field, any cornfield, I'm lost. I know north, south, east, and west, and that's it. And then you got
follow the stream.
If you're on a mountain and you get the hills, and you kind of get lost. I was in a pot field in New York with Bongholio. It was crazy, playing songs on a pot field with an 8-foot bong.
That's funny.
I wasn't on mushrooms, but I feel like I was. I'm like, wow, what am I doing in a pot field with an 8-foot bong, singing songs?
That's great. That's great.
Like what?
That's awesome.
That was fun. That was good times. So we're gonna do a 420 event. We're gonna book a few people. I'm gonna ask Mikey if he'll play.
Yeah, it'd be good.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
We got some good bands lined up for 420 already. Are you using that? Help
no.
yourself. There's stuff in here that's really good. It's diamonds.
I want the dipper. Dipper works.
Ricky Williams used this last, so just be careful. Don't rub off anything that's on there. Just add to it. Don't take away. Oh, it's nasty. Oh, I'm going to sit for the rest of my life. When you smoke this dipper, I'm going to tell you that story. You're never going to hear the end of that one.
Is it dead?
Uh-oh. It blinks when it's dead. Hit it 5 times to wake it up.
Ah, there it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of those has diamonds and another one has sauce. I don't know. Okay, Sarah has many types of seizures. Ugh. I'm still working on getting it under control, but I'm doing better than I have in 15 years. Wow. Man.
Well, progress, that's what matters in the long run.
Yeah. And they still don't know the actual they know the strains that help, but you have to keep switching up with natural medicines. It seems like you have to keep it moving. You can't stick with one strain for too long. Your body adapts to it. And I think you have to switch it up. All right, here we go. Hold on. I want to feel how he's feeling right now. Hold on.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that one got me good.
You've been using your inhaler.
Yeah, recently.
Ooh-wee.
I usually do when the seasons change. But
Yeehaw.
Yep.
All right, so where were we? We're going to go to Cody's office. I want to go to the Verizon up in a couple miles away. I don't have my equipment. I lost the green mask. I lost it. You saw it, right?
Pictures, I think.
I lost it. It was in the car. I'm going to look in the car on the way home. Nice. So the party went well. The mom and pop up. Mom and pop up. That was good. We had a good time in Mawa. So we're going to do something next month. And we're at the State House in a couple of weeks. And, of course, there's Thanksgiving at the State House. There's a lot of stuff coming up, going on in New Jersey. And I'm really stoned right now. Jeez, I should not be on the air. This is how I felt at the party when you guys were like, hey, Lefty, do the raffle. And I was like, okay. And then the raffle never happened because I would get side quests. Side quest here. Side quest. Side quest. So I do have the raffle stuff. Hey, check it out. Let me go get that. I almost forgot again. We can raffle off the stuff.
Yeah.
We got lots of stuff.
Yeah, we do have a lot.
Sugar
of
leaf.
Stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that is right.
A whole bag. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yo, we're gonna have a raffle. Y'all want some free weed? Some fee weed? Y'all want some fee weed? We got some fee weed. We get one of these, of course. This is hold on, I can't see myself. You get one of these, which is a really cool vacuum packed. Ooh, you can see through it. It's a vacuum packed bottle for your cannabis. Really cool. And you get some hemp. Get some hemp with that. And there's a couple pens and rolling papers. Sativa Cross rolling papers. And it says, "Be helpful, not hurtful." You can't see it. It says, "Be helpful, not hurtful," and put the last first. Can't see it, but it's there. And then there's some pens in here. Sativa Cross pen. Oh, wow. That's cool. And I think there's a joint or two. Yeah, there's a joint down there. I see a joint. I'm going to put that joint in a tube. And look at all this stuff. What the? There's pretzels. There's edible pretzels. There's, oh my God, CBD coffee. Oh, come on. I don't know if I'm giving that away. There's more pretzels. Oh, wow.
Hemp roast.
CBD dog biscuits. CBD dog biscuits. And then there's Skittles gummies. And there's all these gummies here. Wow. So we're going to raffle all this stuff off at the State House. We got some we got Nerds. Oh, come on. Nerds. And we got more gummies. And we got Extreme. Oh, man. Look at all this stuff, man. Look, it never ends. And there's more papers and a joint. I'm going to put this joint in a tube. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Cool, man. So, yeah, come out to the State House. And we're going to raffle all this stuff off. If we don't smoke it first or eat it. Is there weed in there? No, just edibles.
Yeah, just edibles.
Got coffee.
There's some coffee.
We could smoke that joint. Haha, no, we won't do that.
Some cool stuff, man.
Yeah. And thank you, Sugar Leaf. Thank you to Sugar Leaf. Thanks to all the vendors who showed up. Thank you to Sugar Leaf. Thanks to all the
hey, what happened?
Who showed up. There we go. Oh, man. Did you hear that? It's going through there. Oh, man. Wow.
Yep.
All right, so can we call anybody? Somebody want to call in? You can give us a call. Uh-oh. You see that? The whole thing just fell out. Look at that.
Yo, that's crazy.
The whole thing fell out. We'll put that in a bowl.
It was pretty smooth out. It
just came right out, the whole piece. That's pretty cool. Yeah, throw it in a bowl.
It's already lit.
It's gone. There's a hair on me or on the bowl. I don't know. It's freaking hair. My lighter. Everything has oil on it. My lighter, oil. Everything has oil, and everything is sticking to my oil. I'm a mess.
Is that Ron's rice oil?
Ron Rice's sex toy oil is over there, I think. And I got some of the barbecue sauce, too. I got the Sativa Cross barbecue sauce. Original hickory smoked pepper. I don't know what that is or where that came from. I don't even, I have stuff that people just sent me here. I have no idea if it's what it is. I actually consumed it, and I lived. And you guys were like, I wouldn't do that.
No.
You sure? How about now?
Nope.
I lived. There you go. There it is. Go for it. It's in a nice little package. Come on. Look at this. It's pretty. This was sent to me. It's pretty.
You should show them what it looks like.
Yeah, they can see it. Oh. All right. Give me the open one. One of these is open. Isn't there an open one over here?
Nah. I don't see it.
Here it is.
Oh.
Okay. This there it is. Stop it.
I want to see what they have to say about that.
Stop it. This is nice. They were nice enough to send this to us. It's sauce.
If I know who it came from, then I'll probably consume it. But
It's sauce. It's what it is. It's sauce. It's good. I smoked it, and I lived. I smoked it like 2 weeks ago, and I'm still here. So it's no slow acting poison, nothing like that in there. I'm good. It's. Oh man, that's funny. So yeah, we had no show planned for today, but we just decided to do something anyway. I guess I could call someone. That's always fun to give someone a call out of the blue. Well, let me do that. Let's see if this works. Damn. He's on a ladder, on a 3-foot, on the last step of a ladder right now, and he's like, Lefty, not now. Not now. He's probably listening to the show, and I just interrupted him listening to the show. So, wake and bake, everybody. I'm sorry, we have nothing planned. Unless you call in. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Ow. Ow. Really? Oh. Okay. Getting your tooth pulled is probably one of the worst things ever. Oh, I had a crown put in like a couple of weeks ago, and just the sound of him breaking off the old crown, because he had to break it off. There was no nerve. It was a root canal, but he had to break off the old crown. And it was just gross when you hear that pliers in there and you hear a little crackling and crinkling. Oh. Damn. Sorry you're going through that, brother. That's terrible. Ouch. Ouch. I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and that was gross. Man. You ever have any tooth extracting?
no, but I gotta go do it.
That's pretty gross. Ouch. Knock me out for that, please. Give me the gas.
Yeah, for real.
Give me the gas, man. Oh, well. Yeah, we had a guest lined up, but he had to cancel. Oh, look, I got oil on the top of my glasses. I really have. I have oil right here. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh man.
It's right there. It's a slather. It's not even a little bit. It's oh man, really? And it's my good eye. Ah, jeez. I can't see now.
That's funny. It's your good eye.
My good eye. Hi, can you hear me?
Salutations, brother. How are you?
Hey, man. Good morning.
How everything, Chris?
How you doing?
Chilling.
There
So
we
what's going on with today's agenda?
It's being stoners, I guess.
Yeah. We're
Well,
being
listen,
Getting
we all
heavily medicated.
We definitely need rejuvenation. You know what I mean? You gotta rest your head every once in a while when you're fighting all the time. You can't keep taking headshots without some recourse and sleep, you know?
Yeah. Recovery.
Yeah, everyone takes their own little process of recovery, you know?
How you
Figure
doing?
Call in, see how you guys are doing. Make sure everybody's good.
Yeah. How about you? How are you doing?
Things good in the Pines, you know. Taxes are high. People are acting crazy on that fentanyl. Other than that, everything's good.
Fentanyl.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy down here in Browns Mills and Pemberton. It's like The Walking Dead by the lake lately.
Wow.
What do you mean?
We got FBI out here, all kinds of things. You'd think being this close to Fort Dix that you wouldn't have a drug issue, but holy cow, man. Between the going joke is crack or tweak, and not or doze. Which one are you? You know what I mean? I didn't even know the terminology. These young people got all different types of ways to call it. And I said, well, what the hell is the difference between a nod and a doze? He was like, well, a doze, you know, you're tired, and a nod is, you know, you're fighting to stay alive. I'm like, oh, little cheerful thing that I got at the mailbox this morning. I was like, oh, have a great day, thank you.
Wow.
Wait, a nod is what? Both at the same time, a high and a low together?
No, it's basically saying like one you're just doing because you're physically tired from working, or you know, and the other one's just you're fighting to stay alive.
Oh, wow. Okay, I got you.
When you're dozing, you know, you're dosing or dozing is the TikTok thing, you know, to see how long you can stand before you have to sit down. These are all the kind of crazy challenges that are going on. They just had a town meeting in Pemberton about, you know, different trends through the TikTok. I like people our age are just oblivious to all these things. Like this subcultures of being subcultures, you know? Like, because I like social media and I like Instagram and TikTok and all those things, you know, fun things. But I never really think you could take a format like that and just put it on its head, you know? Not to change the mood there today.
No, it's I feel that, and I think what is it, Mark Zuckerberg or whatever, just recently got some backfire on that. I guess like there's a lady that kind of like said this is the
right?
What was that?
The whistleblower, right?
Yeah, and she was saying how like, you know, Facebook knew about the dangers to it would be to, you know, to younger people.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of it, you know, but then like I was talking with a good friend of mine, pastor, and he was like, influencers, Sean, you know? It took on a whole nother meaning now with the social media era.
Yeah, 100%.
You only had to worry about getting bullied down at the town hall or the bar or things like this. He was like, now there's nowhere to escape it because your phone's reminding you, hey, you got a message. And you're like, oh, wow, I got a message. Let me go look. And meanwhile, it's go kill yourself or go fuck yourself or you did this or you did that. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's there. It's with you. You know, it's in your pocket.
Yeah, it chases you, right? Like the big brother's chasing us, but it's like almost like we're giving him freedom so we can have access to information that's just going to destroy us.
Yeah. Here's another thing too, though. Like, you know, if you are the creator of these type of things,
right?
You must. History has shown that anything that comes out of good has later become used as a weapon.
Yeah, anything can be misused, definitely, brother. And information, disinformation, you know.
You know, and then that's what I'm going for. Like, you know, nowadays, you think somebody like himself would know that this can be used against, you know, him or you know, backfire on anything, you know, like there will be there will be, you know what I'm saying, there'll be problems, there'll be big problems, you know.
That's what I was talking to my friend. My friend is a pastor, and he's really into the gang outreach program. He's a former Pyru from California, and what they did back then, he said, when, you know, the smart gangsters, the judges would lock up and they'd say, hey, well, you got a choice. You can do 5 years or 6 years, or you can join the military. And a lot of the gang members were like the smarter ones. You know, they didn't give it to like everybody. If they felt that there was something in there, like they gave all these guys when they got arrested, right? And as juveniles, he was telling me, they put them all in a room, you know, different sets. They kept them all, you know, away from each other. The Bloods and the Crips and all the different gangs that were out there. And he was like, they gave us all tests, man. Like, you know what I mean? And he was like, at first, like, people were ripping shit up and just acting crazy. And he was like, Then they started bribing him with like candy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like to get on him, like nah. And then he's like, that wasn't even working, right? So then they started putting them against each other, like, oh, do you know that these guys got this score, these guys got these scores, and then what they would do is they would take the best out of all the gang members, throw the key away for the rest of them, just give them their straight time, and the ones that were smarter they put into the military. Can you believe that any type of shit like that would actually be happening?
Yeah.
And nowadays he goes out to the outreach programs and he does it against it. But like he was just telling me, he was like, yo, it's the same way. It's the same concept as what's happening nowadays with social media. Everybody wants their views, and that's how they get their popularity. You know what I mean? He was like, but to get back on topic, is they were testing these guys to take the best of them. And their understanding is like, all right, we're going to take these guys and so they can go back and teach the other ones that are not so smart. But most of the people that scored really high on those tests were the shot callers, were the leaders, he said. And like he's, like I said, I'm not going to give his name out, but, he's still influential in the military and he's still influential in the streets in Trenton. So I was just thinking about it and we were talking about it and he was telling me, back then they were talking about how to get these guys to conform. And you know how they got them to conform? Through hatred. Hating each other's set to see who could score better just so they would have bragging rights in the yard. Now, some of them, like he said, some of them that went in with him became great members of society. And other ones, they just trained and went back and took their skill set. And like he said, after the program got discontinued in like 94, 95, the murder rate and everything jumped through the roof in Los Angeles. He said it went from like a 20% to like a 40% within these neighborhoods of the Pyro neighborhood and the other ones where he grew up at. And he was just telling me, he's like, I never thought that I'd see anything worse than South Los Angeles after the riot, Sean, and all the drugs and everything else. He was like, but coming through Browns Mills, Pemberton, Trenton, and then he's literally right out there on Allegheny right now in Kensington. And you're not going to believe it, Lefty. I don't know if you've seen any of this footage. You need to go check out Kensington, Faces of Kensington, and a couple other sites and check them out. Because when I tell you, it takes a lot to shock us, man. You know that. Especially, my history. It takes a lot to shock me. I wanted to come home and cry, man. Like, you could just see the life being sucked out of it. And what they're doing is people are getting hurt and they can't get the meds like they used to, like, the pills. So now they're doing knockoff fentanyl pills. And he was showing us the pills, right? Like, look, which one are real, Sean? There's no fucking way, Lefty. There's no way you could tell. There's no way. By look, obviously when you ingest, you're going to know the difference, but the reaction rate, and I was like, well, I was confused. I was like, well, heroin's been around for a long time, fentanyl, these things have been around for a while. Well, what's the major difference? He was like, well, if somebody shoots up some tar heroin, some Mexican cartel heroin, or some Chinese heroin, he says straight up, they're high for 4 or 5 hours. Minimum overdose because they know how to regulate their stuff. He was like, one day they get a pill, they crush it called Loyal to the Foil, and they're getting the chemist that day wasn't that good and didn't give a fuck and wanted his little pills to sell more than the neighbor's pills. You know what I'm saying? So he dropped a little extra tenth inside of something. 4 or 5 people knock off the fentanyl, you're high for maybe an hour, 2 hours, and then he was like, the craving off of heroin ain't nothing compared to fentanyl. And they're mixing it with coke. They're mixing it with things you wouldn't even believe, bro.
Xanax.
Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, when I got back from Kensington with him, I literally just was like, I was telling Jeannie and my son, like, I talk about a real good game about supporting and helping people. And I've saved some farms and I've done things like that for my friends and family. But literally going out there with somebody that I know is influential and he's looking for his own kid. You know what I mean? And just like telling me about watching hours and hours and hours of video footage of, people driving around, doing called the Faces of Kensingtons and just trying to outreach program to get people come home. Like, bro, like when I shit you not, we were in the park. It's called Needle Park. And I was sitting there, and everyone was like, into their little zombie lands, like nodded off. It's like everybody was bent over, like they were looking to try to pick something out of their book bag or up off the ground. And at first, I was just like, why are these people picking shit up? Like, I was so not known to it, right? Then at about 9:30, all I heard was a noise. And I literally watched people who couldn't even stand up 10 seconds ago. They heard testers, sampies, samples, samps. We got that samp. And I literally not tell you, there was maybe like 130 people in that park. There was nobody there, bro. It was almost like somebody came in Kensington and just took their hand from Allegheny all the way up to Needle Park and just wiped it away. Like, no one. Like, it was crazy, bro. Like, I've never seen people with wheelchairs and, like, just sores all over their bodies, and they couldn't even hardly stand up. And it was almost like they only got a shot of adrenaline. And he was telling me, he's like, most of the people that get there, they get the higher dosage stuff, so they can't even leave. And by the time, as soon as they get it, they got to try it or get to where they feel it's comfortable because they're so sick. Like, yo, Lefty, I'm speechless, bro. Like, I mean, I hate to turn your show crazy, but that's something I think you should look at, bro. I mean, I'm not saying to go there because it's definitely not safe to go there if you don't have someone who knows the area and someone who's, I hate to say, affiliated with the gang or has a type of, I wouldn't say affiliated, but a dialogue with the gang. You know what I mean? Because I was like, well, why don't they just come out here and do all this shit? He was like, Sean, every person you see, oh, this person's a tweaker, this person's this, and we're not judging them, but they're property. There's somebody in some room right now bagging up this saying that's $20, and don't try to take their money away from them. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. He was like, well, Sean, that's why there's over 400 murders in Philadelphia. Because, you got all these 14, 15, 12-year-olds who ain't doing drugs, but their moms turned out, their dads turned out, their uncles turned out, and their cousins or their uncles who ain't on drugs are selling it to the other members of the families that are systemically in that area. And I don't see an end. Like, when you're literally watching, I watched the one cop, I was like, oh, he looks like he's overdosed. He was like, you can go feel his pulse if you want. I'm like, well, what kind of attitude that? He was like, no, listen, I'm here to make sure that the people who get on the train and get off the train get off there safely. When they walk a quarter block that way, fuck them. They walk a quarter block that way, fuck them. He was like, no one gets off here is innocent. And I'm talking, and I'm just standing there like, he was like, I thought you guys were a bunch of addicts too when you pulled up, or just on your way to be addicts. I'm like, nah, we're with this person right here. And, we talked for a few minutes and then we went down there. And, we got a couple people to, at least listen, that were coherent enough to listen. But like I said, when that sound, I don't even know what fucking sound it was. It was almost, what it reminded me of? Like some smart ass down around the way got a fucking hockey buzzer that, it almost sounded like a jail door sound. When the jail's doors open, they make that buzz sound. That's what it sounded like, and it echoed all through that area. And they're like, literally everybody, it didn't matter what possessions they had. If they couldn't carry them, they were gone. They didn't care. They were gone. And then about 15 minutes later, you start seeing some of the ones coming back. And then it's just the smell in the air of methamphetamine and dope was just, I literally just, even with a mask on, was thinking to myself, oh man, this is just crazy. Like, it didn't smell nothing like, it smelled like city, don't get it twisted, but it didn't smell nothing like it did after that buzzer went off, Lefty. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't think anything was like that, and I knew Browns Mills were pretty bad, and you think about it, you got young people like us, just literally, you go to the bus stop and you just see, they call them no good nicks. And I was like, well, why are we name calling? Why are we doing this? You know what I mean? And it was like, as we were riding there in the church and I was talking to my buddy and I was like, every one of these people are in here are church going people. Some of them I broke bread with and had great laughs over banquets and just had really great times. And then just to hear the way they were talking on the way there, about, they have choices and, it's not a disease. It is a disease. They were going back and forth. And I just kept quiet most of the time because I was thinking of my friend Cornholio and the rest of you guys, and when you guys get triggered and how I was going to deal with that. Not a fucking person said a word on the ride home. Not one person. Not nothing. Didn't listen. We just listened to Hems coming back, and then I was thinking to myself, like, oh my Lord, Thursday morning. And I just came from one of the most beautiful places, my backyard, that, me and the old lady set up, and I'm listening to literally cardinals and nut thatchers fly in and out literally over my head. And then I get into this van, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to go to Philly, and I'm going to do some good. Then I'm going to come back and play my Call of Duty or my video games with my kid, and then it was just like, no. Then I turned on the TV, and I seen you two here, and it's like, well, we got really nothing to talk about. And I figured we've all lost people. Like, I lost people that came back, that went to the church event with me. Like, I look at them, and I'm not going to judge them. But that's what I was telling you with that apple or that pear, one rotten person. And it's not that we can't change them or we can't help them. But if they think they're right, they're not going to hear it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And that's what I said when we got off the bus, and they asked me, oh, you coming again? And I'm like, are you guys all going again? And they're like, oh, yeah, we go every week. And I turned around and I looked at my brother, an ex-gang member is like I am, and I said, fuck this. I said, I love everybody in that van. I do. I honestly, go in there and have the courage to go there, do that. But to chastise people up and make jokes and then come home and then be silent just to do it another week and another week. And he was like, well, that's why I invited you, the voice of reason. He was like, because only you can make a Sunday not smile. I was like, damn. But when I seen that, Lefty, it kind of struck a nerve in some of the things that you've talked about and about how we've lost and how people really don't have a choice. And it's like the people that were going to help, were they going to help them or were they going to help themselves? Or to just say, hey, look, I did something about it, but really didn't do anything about it because they had their own little conversations in their own little cliques in their own little heads instead of becoming one. You know what I mean? So pretty much I just sat there and we talked, and they wanted me to hand needles out and things, but I just handed out cards saying that we all deserve a chance. Call this number for, Trinity rehabs and other rehabs and like that. But as in for the needle exchange and other things, I don't know. I wasn't up for that part of it. But what the parts I was up for is enlightenment. Because then I thought to myself, how crazy addiction is and how crazy that the energy, everybody was so excited to go, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's like we're getting ready to go to Six fucking Flags. And I'm thinking, are we going to like a bad place or not? I knew of Kensington, and a main reason I went up there was just to support my brother and help him find his child. And we didn't that day, but like he said, he's going to be up there all day until he finds him, and then try just to talk to him. But you've had situations like that in your lifetime that you've had people that you loved and you just knew, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but there's a truck that used to go out to these places. It was called the New York City Relief Bus.
Yeah.
And it would go out to these places and feed people in those areas. And
oh yeah, that's what we did too. We handed out food, soup,
and prayer. Yeah, food and prayer, man.
And we prayed, and we handed out. I handed out like shit, at least a couple 100 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just like here, because they were saying the most things they needed was socks and coats because it's getting cold, and and personal items like toothpaste and like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, like every person that I talked to, I wanted to cry because they were just so thankful and so happy just to see us. You know what I'm saying? And it was just almost like I felt good, but I felt bad. Like, oh, I know you're happy to see me, but then as I was coming home and I was talking to my wife, I was like, am I prolonging their misery? You know what I mean? But then my wife's like, cold feet ain't going to stop them, baby. Just think, they're just going to keep them from getting less sores, or they're going to maybe have one more chance to break through recovery. And once she said that to me, it woke me up. And it also made me think about the meme that I posted to you. Like, yeah, there's going to be people that come in and out of Sativa Cross that aren't always going to be for the best. They're all going to have their own agendas to a degree. But that's why I want to tell you that I love you for what you've done and to take the time and called yourself out on it. I don't think you hear enough. I mean, the paper awards and all that shit, that's really good. But the soul count that I'm talking about, when Jesus grabs you in his arms and he kisses you on your forehead and he goes, oh my, you know, I'm glad you're here, but, you know. And those kind of things, I think, when I got there, I just kept thinking to I'm like, damn, I wish I had a headset on or something, a visual, so I could just, Lefty could see this. Because the energy that was there in the middle of a war, literally, for their souls,
right.
it was peaceful, brother. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen more negativity at a football game and a baseball game than I did in the middle of all those hundreds of addicts. Do you believe that? Like, sharing with each other, like, even their drugs is sharing, and like, I couldn't, like what? A crackhead sharing? Like, nah, what? They're micro communities, but my thing is it's getting in somehow, right?
Yeah, I like the fact that they're feeding them and praying for them. We did that at the Liquid Church. We actually slept in cardboard boxes overnight at the church to get a taste of what it was like, and it really wasn't even a taste. It was miserable. It was raining. We got washed out of our tent.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, soaking in the rain.
Yeah, I had just had surgery 3 months before on my neck, and I was miserable.
Right.
I was
opiate-free, right?
I was opiate-free, but I was in such pain that I think I was literally hallucinating.
Right, but then didn't that give you more clarity?
Yeah, because it was a spiritual thing at the church. It was crazy. It was very.
I honestly don't think I've had one of them in a long time, except for this morning. Like, I was shaken. I went from excited, happy, angry, sad. I wouldn't say depressed, but just like, okay, wake the fuck up. You know? It's just hard. Like, I didn't think today would affect me like that. You know me, I'm a pretty hard-headed individual, and I can deal, trials and tribulations myself. But looking at people and listening to their stories, like, every one of them had some type of family member that just let them down, or they got hurt, and then they didn't know how to talk to people. Because these doctors were just like, here, take this, here, take this, here, take this. And then one day cutting you loose, Like, I'd say at least 50 to 60% of those people that are up there were because of that. And then you got the people like, oh, they know what they're doing, and then this is that. And I was hearing this from some of my own church members and other people that, because it was like a group of all different churches that went. And to deal with that, and I'm like, well, of course the gang members ain't trying to hear they're losing any money. But they don't really mess with the church people like that. But like I said, it was really weird how it got quiet about 5 minutes before they started calling for samples. And then, like, I don't know, bro. And just watching the people laughing as they were, like, tripping to try to go to get it. You know what I mean? And, like, the people are just oblivious to it because they don't have the money for the drugs. But and then I was like, well, how are they getting high then? And he was like, well, the dealers in that area, they know that they're going to give out 25 packets of this, 25 packets of this. And you got 5 or 6 dealers doing that every day. And what they do is they're like drug signs. He's like, these people are literally like, all right, go up to them and they'll come to get it to us because that way we don't have to worry about the cops. They won't sell to new faces, so they have them come back there. So they're basically just using them for advertisement. You understand what I'm saying, Lefty? So then they came in and they took all the tents and all that shit down, which made it even worse because literally the day they took the tents down, 5 people were stabbed, 6 people were robbed. Like, it just went through the roof. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to, the police officer, because he was part of the group that met us down there from Southwest. And he was like, they don't dare. He was like, I'm going to tell you right now, Sean, there's some places up in Allegheny and Stuyvesant and in places in Trenton and other places that they're not coming there. They're not coming there unless they got 2 to 3 backups, and they're not even thinking about that because they know that them knuckleheads are going to bust off on them. I said, get the fuck out of here. He was like, yeah. He was like, a cop today, he was like, it's going to be all over the paper. He says, a cop today, she went home, and they followed her ass home because she was heisting up people that, she got somebody with a G-Pack and heisted them up and busted them. And they waited outside her door yesterday, early this morning, and put about 5 or 6 shots. She's in intensive care right now. And the police know that for a fact because it's all over because I was literally listening to it come across his radio. They were giving little side messages and sidebars. And I looked at him and I was like, how do you do it? And he was like, yo, Sean, I only got 36 more days before I retire. I said, well, what are you going to do that? He was like, I'm out of here. I'm like, damn, but now I know. I'm looking at it like this, like, yo, how many people did you rush to the hospital on an overdose? How many people did you rush last month alone to a hospital with a gunshot wound? And he told me 13 and 12. I said, well, those 13 and those 12 are going to be dead. Unless you train somebody or talk to somebody. He was like, well, let me tell you something. These younger guys ain't trying to hear it. The younger police ain't trying to hear it. The younger street kids ain't trying to hear it. And right now, he said the city of brotherly blood. And it's like, who can do this? He was like, think about this, Sean. I literally stepped in front of the Capitol crying about shit. I went for the police league and all that. And right now, downtown Philadelphia, on every channel news, you got people doing burnouts in an $80,000, $90,000 car in downtown Philadelphia in the middle of the daytime, busting off shots in front of Chemical Medical Society. Where's the answer for that? You understand what I'm saying? Because all these young people that ain't doing the drugs, that are making all this crazy money off these drugs, are so immature that now they're like, well, where are they getting all this money? And the cops said it all comes from the drug trade. 99% of it. And I was like, well, you can't blame all of it on there. He goes, well, if you come from a broken home and once you walk out that door to go to work, that you might not make it back through that door. He was like, and just imagine this. And then I turned around and I looked and I seen about 15, 16 adolescent children all walking next to each other with their book bags and their lunches, walking up to pass a thing to go to their school past Needle Park. They got to walk that every day. I said, there's no other way for these kids to go around. He goes, no, at least this area has the police, because if you go around the other backside. And I was like, yeah, right. As we went to go grab some food and went around the backside, Lefty, I ain't been scared since 125th in Amsterdam in 1992. I'm like, the lady next to me, right, in the van, she locks her door. And I tell her, I'm like, that lock ain't going to stop it. If anything, you just put up a flag like, yep, their food. And then we just went and we got our stuff. And like I said, I handed out a lot more toiletries. And then instead of staying the second part, I was like, you know what? I need to come home. I need to pray. I need to ground myself because, we were all there one time, brother. Whether it was food addiction, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcohol, or even with, look at me syndromes, with the IGs and the Facebooks. So the day that you have nothing to do, the day is a day of reflection. And also I want to thank you and Chris for giving me a place to say what I had to say and let me get this out of me. And now my next step is, how do I help fix it?
Right. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the next step to help?
Yeah, because I'm not going to get those faces out. At first, when I got there, I was just like, look at all these motherfuckers all fucked up, all zooted out. And then when I left, I wasn't thinking like that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
then,
when you realize, they're a human too, they have feelings, or, you get to know their background and stuff,
Yeah, that's what it was. I've always knew that they were human, Chris, but I put unhuman acts to humans, you know what I mean?
Stigma.
And then all of a sudden the realization came in, was just like, damn, that could have been me. Or when I was out there doing what I was doing, or Lefty knows my background, like, damn, man.
Yeah, I say the same thing about myself. If I would have done too much of one thing, or if I would have, stayed on that path, like, definitely see myself going different parts and different,
Yeah. Yeah, I did that to do today. I came home. I called my kid, and I called my kid, and I told him I love him. He's like, Dad, everything all right? I'm like, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. And then, I figured I come in, and then I walk by, and I get this little pop-up that says, Sativa Cross, YouTube. I'm like, you know what? Let me turn this on, because I know that this is going to help me. And then maybe it'll spark an idea for Lefty, because Lefty's got like the greatest idea sparker crew around him. Like, I just want to, honestly thank you, and not to be so somber, because usually I'm always talking shit and all uppity. But I just wanted to share that with you guys today.
Well, Sean, 3/4 of all bankruptcies are caused by medical debt. So 3/4 of those people could be out there for medical debt.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't have believed. Listen, I literally seen at like 5 or 6 people get off the bus with their free pass, you know what I mean, and still in hospital gowns because their family members. I asked the guy, I was like, hey, man, I gave him a jacket and some socks. I was like, yo, you got a hospital gown? And he was like, yeah, I just escaped. I was like, you escaped? He was like, yeah, I went there and I overdosed last night, and what happened is my family found out that I was there, and they came and took all my clothes so I wouldn't leave and I would stay. And I was like, well, how'd you get out? He was like, man, I've been breaking out of hospitals and penitentiaries my whole life. I had to get down here before 10 o'clock. Now think about this. You can go down to Center City now. They know what time the pack's going to be released in Kensington. He knew. He not only knew, he was like, when I come back, I'm gonna have a ghost on mine, or I'm gonna have a pumpkin on mine, or I'm gonna have, and I'm like, and then I realized, and I look down, and I see all these like baggies, man. Like I thought I was like joking at first, because the guy's getting ready to blow with the blower, right? Because that's how they clean that area. They go through with these giant big ass blowers and blow packs, and they blow the area out. Which I told the guy, I was like, yo, I would hate to be a city worker and know that I was coming down here that day. And he goes, yeah, I shit you not, guarantee one out of every time a crew comes down here, they're going to be out on disability for either getting hit with a needle, or getting something in their eye, or getting, sickness from it. I'm just like, oh my Lord, bro. Like, I couldn't believe it, but like, I seen him in house robes, and I was like, how did you even get the ticket? He was like, oh, this right here is a free ride to Kensington, and he showed me. And you know what's fucked up is they're putting all these outreach programs literally right around where the drugs are. So they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go there for the outreach program, and then literally instead of getting off 2 stops, they get off 2 stops ahead of that and drop off in Lehigh, Kensington, go hit the Needle Park, and never make it to what the money was originally for, because they don't give them money. They give them like these little band things, right? So they can show them to the SEPTA drivers or to the subway, and then they can get out on that way. I could. So I'm thinking to myself, if the city knows that and they're giving these free things, then like, hey, I'll give you a ride, but I'm taking you straight there. Like, I seen all those vans, outreach vans at the hospital, right, as we were going back, and he wanted to show them to me, that there's like 75 brand new outreach vans that still got the rubber nipples and the dealer cards on the side of them that they got nobody to drive them. You understand what I'm saying? So they got all this money investing in all this infrastructure, but they don't got no manpower, Lefty. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like they're dumping a shit ton of money into this, but you got no clean people going there. You know what I'm saying? Or, I'm not going to go help them. They put them in this situation. And 95% of the people that I talked to down there that weren't on drugs were looking for family members. Like, I cannot tell you how many times somebody came up and said, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen her? Have you seen him? And I'm not even joking. I'm talking like at least 20, 30 of them within an hour. Or people just pull up, honk, hey, come up, and I think they're buying drugs or something. And he's like, no, they're stopping in like they do every day to work to see if their kid or one of their family members are there. And then I just thought to myself how blessed we all are. And that, like, maybe those socks that I gave out or that jacket out will give them enough warmth for the day to survive the next overdose to come home,
Did they ever use those trucks?
No, those trucks are still sitting there as we speak right now, brother. None of them have moved, and they've been there since July 3rd.
Brand new?
Brand new. Brand new. City of Philadelphia took their money for the outreach drug program and put it in all, like, a lot of it did get used for good, right? But they are so stressed. Like, I'm going to go Saturday and Sunday this week to the food kitchen and help prep meals early in the morning, like 2:30, 3 o'clock, go up there with him and start stirring soup. I'm really good in the kitchen, so I'm going to go up there and help stir some soup and pray for every stir. I figured, there's nothing better than, like you talked about it, the body of Christ. And so if I'm praying over that soup, whether they know it or not, they're going to have that energy in it, And that's how I got to do it, because I'm stuttering even thinking about going back outside with that.
Someone has to start those trucks up every couple of weeks.
Yeah, because all the batteries are, like, half the batteries are dead on them, and then the funny part about it is you know what the guy said? They got to get an order for somebody to go down there to recharge those things. You understand what I'm saying? And they're so backed up. I'm serious, man. It's some bullshit, right?
Oh god.
It's a look what I done, but here you go, but you can't use them.
Yeah.
Oh, we helped.
Wow.
But you can't use them.
Yeah, they took a picture and everything.
Or you can only use them on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 1 p.m.
That's your government for you. There. Good job.
Like, yo, and I was like, you need to get them going. If the tribe of the addicts know at 10 o'clock that the blue pack's going to be out, why not pull up there so when they do fall out, it takes less time to get them where they could be revived. Because, like, the best friend up there, they call him Narky. And it's Narcan. And literally, from what my friends is telling me, the way the fentanyl is right now, that one shot of Narcan is not even going to help you, even with chest compressions or rubs, It's one shot for one nose and another shot for another nose, and then try to get it moving. And he said the fentanyl is so strong that 90% of the time that they have to go in again, or have to have an IV intravenous because they can't get it through inhalation through their nose. Think about that, Lefty. They're so cold. Like, everybody I seen there when I was giving them socks, all their legs were blue and shit. And I'm like, God, it's gonna be getting cold, man, But, like, I told my brother, I'm like, I appreciate this enlightenment, and I'm gonna go, talk to some people that I know, that'll put it out there like that, or at least let me get my point across on it. But we just all need to be better humans.
What kind of trucks are these? Are these like
They're the vans. They're the actual, like, the people vans. Like, they pull up for, your workers. Like, they got the bench roll seats. They got the first one, the driver, right? And then they got the second 1, 2, 3. I think it was like 4 rows or 5 rows. I'm not really sure. They all say the outreach on it. And a whole parking lot. And I was like, as we went by the underpass, right, and come on the other side, which is right down by City Hall. Do you understand what I'm saying? That whole parking lot. And I'm like, oh, well, you know what? You should use them. He was like, no, because first of all, you got to take a class to be certified to be able to be insured to drive that vehicle. And last year's class was canceled because they didn't have the funding, but they got the vehicles. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like they're trying. My friend.
Do they have do they have food trucks?
They didn't do any food trucks this year. They did. You know, they just down to the benches. They didn't put any money into any of that. They revamped maybe one or two of them, but for Nutrients for Life or something like that. But they were all privately sponsored. Like all Philadelphia really did is do the needle exchange program, send a shit ton of money to St. Vincent's and de Paul's. Basically, everyone whose church voted for their district got help. Do you understand that kind of corruption? Like that is, to me, when I was hearing that, I was like, well, you know, votes count for dollar signs in your area, Sean. I'm like, yeah, I get it. But you got people in churches that are getting all this funding for these programs that are nowhere near where it's happening. You understand what I'm saying? Like he showed me the 5 different churches, and I don't really want to get into that because they're getting ready to draw shit up. You catch where I'm going with this. But what he said to me is these certain churches in these certain areas, and it's every religion, brother. Every religion that got some of that money, all they do is they go down in there and they'll pull up to Kensington Park for 1 or 2 hours. They'll have food to give out, and then they'll go. Then they'll come, and none of them, I mean, they are talking about God a little bit. But most of them just go there, and then as soon as they leave there, guess where they go? They go to their deacon or their pastors or whoever their affiliations with things. They get a little card, and it says, all right, you donated so much time to the hours, and then you go there and you send that to Philadelphia so they can get more funding. And I was handed my card in, right? And then I was like, give me my card back. He was like, why? I was like, I lied, which is terrible in the church, but I lied. Because I kept hearing, you know, people that I love in my ear, and I took it back. And I'm like, no, I'm not there to help someone else get more funding for vans that ain't going to move and for people that want to say, look at me or look what our church did. Now make sure our streets are clean when literally Kensington is dying from the inside out. And it's like everybody goes around that whole area. And I was just like, not to be holier than thou. I just took my card and my buddy was like, hey, what are you doing? And I just told him, I'm like, I'm going to keep this card and I'm going to put it on there, and I'm going to keep it in my wallet so every time I leave this house, I remember that at least I got a home to come back to. And that just because people are in churches or organizations doesn't mean that everybody has the greatest intentions. Sometimes people use organizations and things to circumvent their own addictions or to get what they want. So that's what I mean by bad apples or things like that, because I was there and I was so positive and I was like so uplifted that I was going to get there. And then when I seen it, I thought to myself, oh, wow, I'm the only one asking these questions. And every time I would ask a question that was delicate, I would get a scoff, like, psst, or a kss, or the or yeah, I hear what you're saying, but. And I'm like, well, but's a contradiction of statement, so you don't agree with me, so you're just playing nice. I'm like, that's okay. I'll stand outside. You know what? I seem to fit in with the addicts and the hope nots and the hopelessness better than I do in here. I was like, I told my friend, and I said, you know, after we dropped everybody off and he was bringing me home, I was like, I love you and I know what you're doing is good and everything, but I don't know. I'm not going to go outside again and do that. I'd rather pray over some food that I know that they're not going to be able to hurt themselves with or hurt other people's, and the fact that those people even in that I looked up to before I went that day, it's not that I lost anything for them, but it's a hurt that I don't think I want to forget. It's not that I won't forgive or I don't think that these people were in their worst moments, but I had to think of reason, and he told me that people get desensitized and then they get oversensitized. And how you deal with those type of situations or the reactions is how you're going to go forward with it, I guess. But I told him, I said, man, that is a racketeer. It's like, yo, we're going to give you this stuff that help, right? But we're purposely going to put loopholes so you can't do it. So this church will still vote for us. And this church won't vote, will say, well, we're still trying, which they literally legitimately are, but they already know that the other factions are going to fight against it. And then all that money that was supposed to be centered, it just got dissipated to, like, I don't know. I was like, isn't this embezzlement or something like this? I was like, I know some of my Jewish friends that are really good with terminology and legal things could help me out with this one, because I said, that ain't right. And then he got into what, you know, he's doing. And he was like, well, if I walk away, then I can't document what I'm seeing, Sean. But I'm like, I don't think any church, excuse my language, just get a fucking dime for going up there and helping pray. I mean, you can get all the praise you can get, but literally to go there so your church is on a thing to say that we did so many of these hours so we can say that we were a part of something is a fucking farce. And I just kept thinking to myself, one of these people are Jesus sitting here and just watching us. Because didn't you, we were talking about that before, the day you were going to get cuffed and you were in all that pain, and you were asking me if God was playing a joke on you. And I said, you know, no. And that the power of that conversation kind of changed everything for me that day, Lefty. I know you nodded off a couple times, brother, because I have that way of myself of run-on sentence talking. But that power that day, you know what I mean? It changes it. It changes everything. But that's why we have places like Sativa Cross. And that's why, you know, great members like Chris joined and other members that I've seen that are really into that to heal themselves in the same breath. That's opposite of the cannabaggers that come to your show and show goods and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm all about patients getting medicine. I am so for that. But then again, I just watch churches get paid today. You understand what I'm saying? And I watch politicians say, hey, look, we went down at this day and this day and this day and this day. And they do, Lefty, they do go down there. But going somewhere with that state of mind, instead of going there with a state of mind like you have, like, look, rain or shine, I'm going to be here, and this is what's going to happen. And whether I got something to talk about it or not, we're going to wait to see what falls in our laps, because we do all the greatest planning in the world, and then the universe just shits on it, right? How many times have you had all these great things planned, and then God just like, not today, buddy? And things that you didn't have planned, you know what I mean? One day you started the crosswalk adventures. Now, you know what I mean? And in all these different avenues that branched out. And think about all the people that have come in and out of Sativa Cross. 99.9% of them, whether they do not like you or not, got something great out of it. They didn't get what they wanted in return at times, or got more than they thought, but guess what? You're still alive right now, right?
Yeah, still going.
Yeah, we're still here. What happened?
Exactly. So my point is like...
You dug that hole for me, but you fell in the hole yourself. That's a Bible verse. I forget what, the Corinthians or something?
Yeah,
the whole...
come on. I know you got it.
It's Corinthians, right? Yeah, you dig that hole for me, and then you fall in. Like, what happened, bro?
Yeah, and you fall into that. You fall into that insecurity, or this a false security, right?
Yeah.
But look, you're bringing awareness, man.
Yeah.
And that,
apparently, we're doing a good job, and we're gonna keep going, man. We're not stopping, and we're gonna keep doing this, and going and going. You know, Jeff Oakes...
we just started.
Yeah, we just started, man. Jeff Oakes started this. He was a founding member of this 501c3, and we want to keep his memory alive, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
I do miss those little emojis that he would send me, or those little face things that he'd send me, or just hit me up out of the middle of nowhere, like a ringer's coming in now, or hit me up out of the middle of nowhere and just say, hey, I'm down here looking at blue claws. Do you know about... Like, I learned more about crabs in one conversation when he was standing up there by the bridge. You know, I'm a cancer patient. So I'm by the bridge. he was like, well, if they run me over, Sean, he was like, at least we got footage. I was like, he's like, if I do die, make sure you get it to Lefty. I was like, oh my God.
Always thinking of me. I see that's Jeff. He's great.
No, seriously, he was. It was fun. Those conversations, he was like,
I
he was
know.
like, if I fall in the water, no one's gonna save me. But if I get hit by he's gonna get at least 1,000 more views. I was just like, started laughing.
Atta boy, Jeff. I tell you, I've been thinking about him a lot lately. I miss him.
Yeah, me too. I did the other day when I was having some crabs. I just started laughing, and I was like, he was like, it ain't crabbing unless you got some on your shirt for later. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like his sense of humor. He was like, I don't know if it's I'm spitting up chemo or crab, but either way, I'm going back at. You know how he had his nasty jokes, right?
I love the dark humor. Yeah.
Oh my God, he was like, I don't know if I think he said to me, I don't know if it's chemo or crab, but they both taste good and they're both making me glow. So fuck it. I was just like, my wife was like, what did he just say? I'm like, never mind, honey. She's like, I was like, yeah, he's sick but not sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he went there.
That's funny. That's the dark human we carry as patients.
Yeah, I know, but you know what though? He made me laugh at just because I was concerned that he was falling, and you know what I mean, that he lost his step because we were giggling so hard, and he told me to stop because he was going to shake up his bag and that was going to cause problems. Falling in the street, you know, I don't know. I don't talk too much about it because I had a lot of interactions personally, quiet time with him, so I don't talk too much about that. But that's one of those things that the lighten up the talk that we had earlier. Yeah, I thought about him when I was coming in, some of the things that he told me to stop punishing people for being human, and him telling me that day made me reconcile with one of my family members. So I just wish all that could have happened for him, but you know. Time tells all tales, right, brother?
Yeah.
Those kind of things, you know, they happen for a reason. And then, you know. So when I think about him, I think about the cheerful times. But did you see the last thing he posted?
The last thing Jeff posted? You did? Did you just hang up on me?
Yeah, I think he did. I saw it coming. As soon as he asked, I saw it coming.
That's a dick move. What a Richard. What a Richard you are. Jeez. That's just rude.
That's funny.
Well, anyway. It's almost 1:11. Want to thank CMMNJ. Oh, I'm not even ready for that. I'm so unprepared today.
That no, pretty
What?
stoned.
What?
Pretty stoned.
I'm. Sheesh. Let me find my thing here. Oh, it's Poe's birthday. Happy birthday, Poe. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Poe. We want the Sativa Cross board. Where the heck is it? Oh, jeez. I can never find it when I need it. Board. I want to thank CMMNJ supporting us all these years. You can support us at sativacross.org. Magical Butter, United Food and Commercial Workers Local 152, JacksonStorms.com, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and Pure Puff Lifestyle Shop. Unless someone calls in, we're going to end the show. I want to do some activism, but we have nothing. I have no mask. We have nothing. I want to go to, you know where I want to go. We'd have to go to Bayonne, get it, and go. Well, we could do that. It's on the way home from Bayonne if we go to Bayonne. Want to take a ride to Bayonne?
Yeah.
We got nothing better to do, right?
Yeah, why not?
All right. We might do some activism. We might be Facebook Living in a few hours, and it might be interesting. The cops may be involved.
See how it goes.
If we're lucky. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to go live in a couple of hours. We're going to go do some, all right. I like this. Sean, you've started us into action here. All right, we're going to do it. And here's our list. The saddest list you'll ever hear in your life. It's huge. It's not getting any smaller, and it's hurtful. Here's Cheryl Miller. Who is that with her? Is that a governor? Is that Governor McGreevy? Well, isn't that a coincidence? I think that's Governor McGreevy. Looks like him. Yeah, Cheryl Miller, Jim Miller, and Governor McGreevy. And look at the little girl looking at Cheryl. Man. But yeah, like you all said, Cheryl was an inspiration. And Cheryl knew what it's like to get arrested in a wheelchair. How about that? I have to ask Jim about that. Did they cuff her to the chair, behind her back? We need to ask him these questions. I wonder if he's still on. Jim, are you still on? How did they cuff Cheryl? Did they cuffed her? Or was it on the bed? Was it the bed? I think she was arrested a couple of times. Once was in the bed, once was in the wheelchair, possibly. What, did they cuff you to the chair? I don't know. That's crazy. And don't get arrested in a wheelchair in Brielle. That's for sure. This is Sabina Rose. She had a 25-hour seizure. Diane, Marie, Joan, Randy. This was the video I wanted to find. I was trying to find this video. It's amazing. Chris, you host the show. Ready, go. Be funny. I gotcha. It was. I'm just a Richard. I'm sorry. I think it's here. Okay, and it's one of her videos. This is one of her videos. Hold on. I'm going to find it. It's Randy Robertson. Oh, it's not here. Hold on. Randall Robertson. And there should be a video here of him. If I could find it. At the State House. The State House. Is that it? Is that what I need? State House? Video. Let's see it here. There is some Randy stuff here. Hold on. I can't find it. Sorted by. Date posted. No, it's not today. How about Randy? If I put Randy. Randy Robertson State House. Video. No. Yeah, I should have saved it somewhere. And I think I did save it somewhere, and I just can't find it. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Finding this stuff on the fly like this. But this is what live radio is all about, isn't it? Ho ho! It's not here. How about if I go to his page? Randall Ray Robertson. Go to videos. And then videos of Randy. No. It's not here. No, it's not here. It's the what a video. What a speech he makes at the State House. Maybe I saved it here somewhere. Let's see. Can I search the group? How do you search the group? Right here. Search this group. Randy. Nope. How about Randall? Nope. All right, we'll find it for next week. We'll be live in a few hours. Oh, okay. So we're gonna stop. I've stopped here on Randy. I will have Randy's video next week. Polly, Bill Buckman, Chad, Jeremy, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jake, Armando, Lynn, Sean, Joyce, Brian, Thorne, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, and Jeff. So I guess we'll see you in a couple hours. We have to get our stuff together.
Try to.
Try to. Hashtag they shall grow. Hashtag Jeff's Law. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.